So I just wanted to share this like I did yesterday. I want to talk about my first day of acting school that was yesterday. But before I start, I want to thank everyone on YouTube that really got together and tried to help me prepare for acting school yesterday. And I couldn't appreciate you guys more. As I mentioned in my other live video, what I had to do was I had to do a monologue on my first day. And I thought it would be like a monologue in front of, my classmates just so that we could get a feel of who's in the room. And it was a lot bigger of a deal than I expected. Um, so I want to say that there were like maybe 30, I'm lying, maybe about 50 people in the room. And if you if you've never like acted in front of people, that is a big deal. I've done some theater and I've done some improv and sketch, but like I genuinely thought that this was going to be a monologue that I was doing in front of my classmates and maybe a couple of the teachers. Instead, this is how my first day of acting school went. Um, like and subscribe to the channel, by the way. So it was not only just my peers, meaning the people that I will be in class with for the next semester, next 4 semesters. It was the second year students also in the room. So it was this year and last year students in the room watching us do this monologue. On top of that, there were like a panel of teachers that we would be taking throughout the year. So maybe it's like, I want to say about 6 of them, maybe 7 of the teachers that we would be taking class with was in the room. So imagine that. Like, you come in and think that you're going to do this monologue in front of a few people. Hi, Benish. And it's all your classmates, all last year's class for the second, their second year students. And so there's like approximately 50 or more people in the room. Hi, Millie. And then all your teachers that you've never met that are seeing you for the first time perform without any training from them. It was nerve wracking. It was, I don't want to say it's just stressful, but it was like, when you have a lot of adrenaline. Hi, Millie. It was just so intense. And this monologue that I had to perform in front of all these people, this was the first time I had to actually, I did this. Like, apparently I missed the email where they said that I'm allowed to use the monologue that I auditioned for, but I did something completely new and fresh. And that was the first time that anybody would ever see it. So, before the presentation or the monologue starts, I have the play in my bag, like the book of what I'm going to be reciting. And the book falls out on the floor. And the dean of the school sees the book and goes, "Oh my gosh, that's such a great play." And I'm like, "Oh my goodness." Like, I'm thinking I'm trying to pick something that nobody knows so that just in case I F it up, that nobody knows. But the dean of the school knew exactly what I was like. The play, had seen the play, and I was like, damn, like, now I really gotta do this like well, because they know it. He says, "Oh my gosh, that's the play that I like. That's a great play." Another teacher goes, "Wait, what play you talking about? Now I gotta see it." "Oh, I know that play too." So here I was trying to be slick, and it backfired. backfired. Anyway, skip to when it's time to perform. Like I'm gonna be honest. I feel like I did well. I did well. I remembered all the lines, but I really stuck what I was trying to perform. So I'll tell you a little bit of the story. So I did a monologue from a play called Spoonful, Water by the Spoonful, sorry. And it was a play, a Pulitzer Prize winning play that was about recovering crack addicts, right? So in the story, I'm really doing the role of a guy named Elliot, but the role is gender neutral, so like I was okay to do that. And so I'm playing Elliot's role, and Elliot caused his mother to relapse and OD. She had been sober from crack for a number of years, and she dedicated her life for that time to helping other people recover from her addiction. And what happened earlier in the play was that he approaches his mom, tells his mom, hey, can I get 20 something dollars because their grandmother died and the grandmother was the one that raised him, and he wanted to give her some kind of flowers but wanted the mom to contribute, not just be behind the scenes. The mom ain't have it. Mom ain't have it. She ain't had no money, but she's doing her best. Um, he meets her in a restaurant when she's in front of another person who she's trying to help recover from their addiction, and presses her hard for this money. She ends up telling the story that really was harboring and messing with him all his life, which is when they were little. They got when I say they, him and his little sister, when they were little, they got sick, and she took him to the doctor, and the doctor said, hey, they have this thing going around for the kids. All you need to do is give them water by the spoonful for every 5 minutes until it flushes their system, and then when their system is flushed, they'll be okay. So the mother is good for about 6 hours with these instructions. And then her addiction gets the best of her. She leaves the kids home alone and comes back, God knows how long later. And when he wakes up, he is in a pool of his own feces. He's a young kid at this time. But his sister had cried herself pretty much to death. She had no tears in her tear duct. That's all he could remember the EMT saying. And so his sister died because the mother could not control her addiction. Since then, the mother, like I said, has been helping other people recover from the addiction. And the only thing she had was this chat room. And in the chat room, they talked about their addiction. They got to know each other. They were pretty much helping each other out virtually. And when Elliot, confronts his mom, she tells him, go into my apartment, take the computer, pawn it, and whatever you get from it, you could use it for the funeral for the grandmother. And so he does it, and she actually relapses into her addiction. So it's a really tough story, but I really connected with the lines for Elliot confessing that he was trying to push his mother into addiction. And that's what I performed for the school. So it came out well. Again, I want to thank all of you guys because yesterday you all helped me with my lines. You all helped me with practicing saying the monologue. And at the end, a couple of people came up to me and was like, "Oh my God, that was so great. That was so amazing." So I have you all to thank. Thank you, YouTube. Hi, Brantley Nichols. I want to thank you guys for sticking with me. Today is my second day. In less than maybe 20 minutes, I'll be hopping on the train and going out there. And today's day is maybe a little bit less intense for me. Today we're watching the second year students do their monologues, and all we have to do, which we plan to do as a community of actors and actresses, is to support them. Because, like I started this live saying, this is one of the hardest things we could ever do, which is perform a monologue in front of 50, 60 people that we just met, and are going to be performing with side by side for the rest of the year. Before I drop off, I want to ask you guys: is there a favorite film or a favorite theater play that you like? If there is, let me know, because I'm always looking for pieces to read. I have to become well versed in these things as time goes on. But right now, I'm just reading the ones that are suggested to me. So um, I'm gonna ask you guys to keep sending your favorite films, keep sending your favorite plays so that I can read it, and maybe one day before class I'll act something out for you from one of you guys' favorite pieces. But thanks for supporting, and I will clue you in on day 2 tomorrow. Peace.